from Cat's Craft Corner. How are you all doing? Welcome back to Let's Talk Shop. So today the format's going to be a little different just because I haven't done actual knitting for the shop since December, and we haven't really gotten any new products in yet. We did order needles in December, so they should be arriving sometime soon. Looking forward to that. If you don't know, we exclusively sell collage square needles. They are made here in Brockville, Ontario. They are ergonomically friendly for your hands, as well as they have a corporate social responsibility to, they've directed it towards helping those with invisible and visible disabilities, to help them with career aspirations. And they are lightweight. They have their own patent form of cable insert operation, wow, I'm saying a lot today. So they have a patent insert for their cables to their interchangeable needles that is specific to their needles, and it allows them to swivel and still stay attached. So we're excited to be getting those in soon. But in the meantime, I'm going to tell you about how we have upcoming events. So again, thank you for your patience while I was on vacation, and then when I came back following that, I hit the ground jogging. Not quite walking or running, but jogging. So I appreciate your patience for me getting this video out. And it allowed me to schedule all of our upcoming soon coming events. So as of right now, we are having a stitch along for our Stardew Valley map kits that were pre-sold earlier. You can still join us if you want. However, we do not have kits. We can provide you the pattern Google Drive link where it's free to access. If you are interested, just send us a message, and we can also send you the Discord link or include it below in the description on where to join us for the stitch along for the Stardew Valley map. And then that will be happening the first Monday of every month, unless there's a holiday of sorts. Then the Monday will be indicated of which one it is that month. What else we have going on is a make along. So it's a generic, any craft you're doing, you can come join us for the social event. And again, the Sal and the Mal are all online, so you can join us from wherever you are. I will include the information below. The Mal occurs for the next 3 months, starting from February, and is on every other Tuesday from 7 till 9 p.m. So the Sal is also from 7 till 9 p.m. ET, Eastern Time. And we're just really wanting to open up the conversation for everyone, get people connected with other crafters, because connecting and feeling connection, I feel, is even more important right now, and practicing mindfulness and being present with everything that's going on in the world. So please join us. And those are our two biggest events for the long term. So the Sal's 16 months, the Mal is about 3 months, and then we do have a fundraising event occurring. So we have joined with the Canadian Cancer Society of Canada for their Knitting February Challenge. Basically what it is that people are knitting a little bit every single day of February to talk about the Canadian Cancer Society, awareness of cancer, and the work that they're doing, and just to connect. It's a really good initiative. We have a team. Please join our team if you would like. If you don't want to commit to the challenge, please make a charitable donation. It's all appreciated. So I guess I should explain a little bit about why this is important to me. We do have a few people in the shop that have been affected by cancer, whether it was a family member, a friend, or themselves. But for me personally, I've had several family members pass away from cancer. One being my aunt. She's the one who taught me how to knit. She passed away about 8 or 9 years ago. my middle name's actually after her. Her name's Anne. Well, was Anne. And she died from colorectal cancer, which is a preventable cancer if you take the necessary precautions, such as getting a colonoscopy. If anything doesn't seem right with your stool, go get it checked. It is treatable, like curable, but it is one of the third leading forms of cancer, because people don't think like, oh, my colon and rectal, I should be paying attention to their health as well. Gut health is important. All, like, as much as that internal tract is external from the inner parts of the body, because it is its own separate tract, it's still a part of your body. And unfortunately, my aunt did not take action when she should have, and she ended up with a mutated form that was resistant to normal treatments, and it spread to her lungs. And yeah, so there's a lot of different science out there that some people think it has to do with the length of telomeres. If you don't know what telomeres are, don't worry about it. It's just something within your genetic coding related to how cells reproduce. If you really want me to go into the science, I can let you know where to find resources for that. But yeah, so this February, the Canadian Cancer Society Knitting Challenge is very important for me and is sentimental to me. The being able to help bring awareness, bring funds for research and treatments and support, and please join us or donate. Anyway, so those are the three things that are happening in the near future: the SAL, the MAL, and the knitting challenge for cancer. That's what's happening in the shop. For events, for classes, we have our Learn to Crochet for beginners. That is happening on a Monday night and a Tuesday night. You can find them on our events page. I'll also include details of it below. And then we also have our Learn to Knit class. These are in-person classes. So if you're in the Durham region area or the GTA and you want to learn how to knit or crochet, come join us. It's a single 2-hour class. And then we also have our sock knitting class. It is 3 sessions, each 2 hours, and those are happening on Wednesday starting February 11th. And it's from cuff down. And it uses DK weight, so knits up really nicely. It adds a lot of cushion to the sock, and it's faster knit than if you're using fingering. So that is the shop details. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have been wondering if I got my personal knitting for the holidays done. The 24 socks, the 12 pairs. I'm sad to say, I only got 8 pairs done. I shouldn't say only. That's actually pretty good considering I only gave myself like 2.5 weeks. 8 pairs of socks, and one of them was a size 14 foot men's. So, I'm quite proud of myself. Also, I've discovered who is super knit-worthy based on who tried them on immediately after opening them. So there are 3 people that are 100% knit-worthy, like, no question of it. I'll find out if the others are. I know it sounds really awful to be saying that, but any knitter knows that it takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, and money to even make a pair of socks for someone. So you want to know that they're wearing them and that they appreciate them. So if I see my family members wearing the socks, then I'll add them to the list of knittable people. But so far there's only 3 to 4 people that are super knit worthy. I did finish Chris's sweater. It turned out to be really sharp. His family loved it. He wore it all day on Christmas Day. I will include a photo of him modeling it here. And I should have also shown you a photo of the socks. But I was really happy with how it turned out, and it blocked really nicely. I was a little worried that it would be too wide and not long enough, but it ended up being perfect. It hit right at his hip bone, just underneath where his belt line is, like belt loops. So super happy about that. And I then gave my hands a very long break when I was on vacation. So they are ready to go for the rest of this month and coming February. So what I did do So this is where it kind of gets into a little bit different of a format, and I'm just going to share because why not? Who doesn't like some book reviews, right? So I went on a very big book binge reading for me. I finished 5 books in the 3 and a bit weeks that we've had of January so far. So I'll give a quick review of what the books are, how I felt about them, and I'll put the photo of the cover here. So the first one that I finished was The River Has Roots, and I'm going to botch the name, and I am so sorry, but it's by Amal L. Mott. I'm so sorry. But anyways, it's The River Has Roots. It's a story about 2 sisters and how the lust and greed of one person can alter the course of a person's ability to make choices in life. It's more so about the sisters' bonds, but I really enjoyed it, and it was a quick read, perfect for after a whole bunch of knitting and going hardcore over the leading up to the holidays at the shop. So it was a perfect read, really quick. Then I read The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. I am partial to this, biased. I watched the movie before reading the book, and I enjoyed the movie. The book was still good. It's so The River Has Roots I give a 4 out of 5 stars. The Thursday Murder Club is more like a 3.5 out of 5 stars because it's still a good read. It doesn't induce a lot of emotion, but it was a book that I enjoyed picking up. I wanted to pick it up again after I put it down, and the flow of it was quite enjoyable. I then read One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig, and I personally really enjoyed that just because I love female heroines and protagonists that have, I wouldn't say, they're not perfect, and I wouldn't say I like that they hide their imperfections, but they don't let their imperfections stop them from doing what they think is best or allowing themselves to love someone. So that book I'd give a 4 out of 5. I had trouble putting it down. It was enjoyable. It is a fantasy book, so if you are not into fantasy, then don't read it. Also, it kind of gives a bit of a tarot card feeling, so I kind of enjoyed that. I do like tarots. There is no drawings of tarot cards. I think that would have... So they're not tarot cards, but they're cards that are in the book. And I think it would have been cool to see some artwork of those cards, of what the author kind of envisioned them to be, brought to life. That would have helped my enjoyment of the book a little more, just to have that visual stimulation. Even though I do really enjoy making it up in my own head, I do like to see sometimes those maps that you would see in the beginning of some books, so that you can track where geographically all the action's happening. And then the 4th book I read was The Tell by Amy Griffin. It is a nonfiction, and disclaimer, there are triggers in this book, so if you have any issues with sexual assault, gaslighting, and misogynistic behaviors, I would avoid it. But if you are not triggered by those, or you have come to a point in your life where it used to be a trigger but it no longer is, I would highly recommend it. It also touches on perfectionism and how it can be used as a form of masking what is really the root cause of that perfectionism. So I really enjoyed reading about her story and reflecting on it, and even seeing a bit of myself in it. So that was really enjoyable for me. I would give it a 4 out of 5 stars, or 4.5 out of 5 stars. And then the last book that I read was Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by Schwab V.E. It's very well written. it was a little difficult for me to get through because it didn't have me itching to pick it back up after I put it down to read it. So it took me a very long time to finish that book. I had started it before the holidays. If you enjoy LGBTQ based books, along with some fantasy related to vampires, then this book's great. It had a lot of back and forth in the beginning, so it was a bit hard to latch on and develop emotional connection with the characters, but the characters are developed in a really nice way. And the ending, I'm not going to spoil it, but it was an ending I thoroughly enjoyed. So even though the lead up to it was a bit difficult to get through, the ending was worth it, in my opinion. I enjoyed it. So those are the 5 books that I've read, and I'll include a link below to some reviews on it on Goodreads or what have you below. And if you have opinions on these books and you've read them, I'd love to hear what your opinions are. So that has been majority of my month since my last podcast. Getting those socks done, seeing Chris in that beautiful sweater, setting up the events for the Stitch Along, the Make Along, the Cancer Knitting February Challenge, and setting up those classes for learning to crochet, knit, and make socks cuff down. And then reading a buttload of books. I'm now reading Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. I apologize if I said the last name wrong. I'm really bad at enunciation with the names. And it's another book that I started a long time ago and have been having trouble getting through. So far, my review of it is that it's really well written structurally. It's very eloquent. It's a fiction, not fantasy, but fiction. And it does really, really, really tickle my nerdy side, so I will give that a extra kind of like bump in my review because of it. But it's a lot that is given to you throughout the book, and it almost, at one point I did. At one point I forgot what the premise of the book was and what direction this was going in, and what I kind of should have been not expecting, because I like not expecting things when I'm reading, but at least being able to follow a trail. Like, okay, so for example, with One Dark Window, plot is super easy to spot, kind of predictable. Okay, it is predictable. And no problem. At least I know for a fact what the premises of the book is, and I don't forget what it is. Where with Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, I have forgotten what the premises was, but have continued reading just because it is so eloquently written, and it does tickle my nerdy side. However, I do not have an itch to pick this book back up. So far, unfortunately, this book so far is getting a review of 2.5 stars out of 5 for me. I'm not done yet. I'm about 60% of the way done, and I do plan to finish. Mainly because I feel kind of obligated. It's a part of, so I have 2 friends that live in Alberta, and we used to be a part of a book club, and we wanted to keep it going. So one of them recommended that we do what's called the Traveling Book Club, so kind of like the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, but with a book. So each of us has a book, and I know a lot of people may be like me where it feels icky doing this, but you write in the book your thoughts as you're reading through it. I thought about using sticky notes, but then I thought the adhesive of the sticky notes would be just as bad as just writing in the book. So I have bit down and bared it when I take my pen to those pages. So I've been writing in the book, kind of just giving my thoughts as it goes. And this book is a part of that traveling book club. So I feel kind of obligated to finish it. Now, if I really had trouble where even the obligation of the book club didn't want me to make me finish this book, it would be a 1 to 0 out of 5. But luckily, I still have a little motivation to read this book. And I'm sorry to anyone who really, really enjoyed this book. Like, power to you. It is your type of book. I'm not shitting on your preferences. It's just not my preference. It is a really well-written book, though. So that is what's happening in my life and in the shop's life. And I am going to leave a little bit of a teaser. We are doing a trunk show campaign again come the launch of, it will be launching on local yarn store day, April 25th. And we will have 10 dyers, and it will be spread out up until September. So we do have some new dyers that we didn't have last summer, and we do have some repeat dyers from last summer. But we're super excited to be having the trunk show campaign again. And as some of my regulars have made me brainstorm kind of a theme around it, you know how in Rocky Horror Picture Show there's the song Let's Do the Time Warp Again? Well, let's do the trunk shows again. Purl to the left, knit to the right. Let's do the trunk shows again. Woo! So that will be exciting to tell you more about when more of it is solidified and the details and everything are ironed out. But something to look forward to. And yeah, thank you again for sitting with me on this Monday morning and hanging out. I hope you enjoyed this. Please leave a comment below if you have anything related to holiday knitting or the socks and sweater that I did for the holidays. If you have any questions or thoughts on the Sal, Mal, and knitting for cancer. And if you're interested in any specific classes for us to host here in shop or even online, and then I can look into those. But yeah, thank you again. If you like this video, please click subscribe and give thumbs up and hit the bell for notifications. Alright, have a great day guys, have an awesome week, and take over the world one stitch at a time. Bye!